Hello?
Hi. So this is actually here. I'm actually gonna do this one by myself for a bit, but I'll pull you back in when the serious stuff is kind of over. Um, so sorry guys, I was having to check and share out the stream because this is kind of a more serious topic. If I do have any of my moderators here, please do not post the Patreon link. It is a serious topic, and I don't feel like it's right to kind of use drama to sell myself. I prefer not to do these drama streams. I feel like they're stupid and useless. However, I do think if somebody slanders your name, you have every right to defend it. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of talk about the drama in CG, what caused me to leave CG, and kind of like my disappointment in general with a lot of creators. Um, Now I know a lot of you guys aren't really cut up, and some of you guys actually um, believe some of the stuff that was said this morning. Um, yeah, okay, for some reason, the music in this game switches on me all the time, even though I have it very low. Okay, how's this? Better? Better. Okay. Um, yeah, everybody used to be a mod, and then what I did was I changed it. I was like, I have too much blue. I needed to take my channel a bit more seriously, so that's why a lot of people got demodded. But I woke up this morning to a very nice message of somebody claiming I had harassed them. Only problem is the only message I think I talked to this guy like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Um, we had a disagreement. That's fine. Adults have disagreements. It was more disagreement on opinions than anything else. It wasn't like a major. I didn't think it was that big of a disagreement because, oh well, it happens. I believe it or not, I don't care if I disagree with people. Now I do have a certain stance on some things. Like what drove me out of Comicsgate was the constant harassment and actual harassment, not just people criticizing you for slandering somebody wrongfully accusing somebody of something, which is, by the way, is not harassment. If people are calling you out, that happens. It happens. If you do dumb things and you say dumb stuff, it happens. The best thing to do is admit that you were wrong and move on. Trust me, I've done that. I've had people like, yeah, you fucked up, Pope, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to do better. I'll try to my best here. I don't really think it's fair to tell all your fans that don't really like what was said, that they're now harassing you or lumping them in with people that bothered you. Believe it or not, people have their own opinions and voice, and that was actually one of the things that started Comicsgate. Was people were tired of being told they were this and that and all this other stuff just because one or two people were. And I will admit, I dealt with sexism in CG. I had people that did not like the fact that I was a mod in a lot of places just because I was female, and I was kind of the only female in the around the Facebook group for a long time, and or at least the only one that would talk. And I had some weird stuff happen, from people messaging my mother telling them like some really terrible stuff to um, people making memes of them shooting me. And that guy later did apologize and admitted that it was wrong, so I don't really have anything against him. But it was a really weird situation because while I don't think, like, from what I was told, it seemed like my gender played a huge part in why some of the people hated me. Now, granted, I also did, I guess, come off a bit antagonistic, even though that wasn't my intention. Because if you don't know, Facebook is like written messages. I didn't like call these people and go, "This is how you get back in the group." No, I would message them explaining why they were kicked from the group, and that I would tell them how to get back in. I actually, the funny part was, a lot of the people that hated me, actually were people that I had tried to. There was only one person that I actually wanted like not in the group, and it was because the guy was causing so many problems, and he was the only guy I voted to kick. And I don't really like kicking people. I've had to kick people before, but I try not to. And the way that we set up the group is you need two moderators to decide to kick, because we don't want like personal biases to get in the way. Um, but I had the smart idea of changing my last name to the head admins just to mess with them. And funny story, Facebook only allows you so many name changes. So I'm stuck with that name now, and it's kind of funny because people think that's my actual name. But yeah, it was weird because I've had people call me out and tell me that I said something or did something that wasn't okay, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll delete it and I'll apologize. I don't know what's so hard about just apologizing when you mess up. And I've even said this before with the war campaign stuff. I would have the only reason I pulled support with the fundraiser for war campaign supported books is because they did a stream with somebody that, if you guys have followed me long enough, kind of like bothered me for a handful of months, and was trying really hard to get me kicked out of CG. And while I did eventually leave on my own, um, it wasn't like they did a stream where they lied about me for a good 30 minutes. It's been such a long time that I can't remember. But I was like, okay, if they're going to act this way, then I don't think I should support them with the fundraiser. And I talked to the other people that were doing the fundraiser with me, and they agreed with me. They're like, yeah, we don't support people that do that, because it was slanderous and it was completely made up. A lot of the stuff that the person had talked about never happened, or there was no evidence to back it up because it never happened. And that caused some problems with that. And here's the thing: you would think that you wouldn't really you would think that a Starfire channel, you would think that would be like the last place you would really want to trash on, because again, we really don't talk about drama here. We really do just want to have fun. But I think when it gets to the point to where people are slandering you, you have a right to defend your name. And I'll only talk about this once on the channel. I don't want to talk about it again because I feel like it's stupid and it's just mostly clickbait and it's dumb. Like that's the end of it. Like, it's all just dumb. Why on God's green earth can we not just talk about comics books? Why do we have to put dildos on people's faces? Why do we have to bother them all the time? Why do we have to lump them in with people and do the exact same stuff we complained about with SJWs? Like, why are we unable to have adult conversations? Like, why can we not just I mean I get it, it's Twitter, so it's already a bad platform, but you should be able to have people disagree with you. And I know that I'm guilty of this because I automatically will block people in war campaign, but I block them because of personal reasons, because of actual harassment, not because somebody just disagreed with me and it was the end of the world. It's because there's actual illegal stuff that's going on, and we see that with so many cases being pulled up, or at least with one case in particular. And I have my own personal reasons that I will be more open about when my case is finished. But it's just disgusting because we've defended stuff that we used to be against. We've I don't get it. Yes, this game is called Elseworlds. No, this is the best part though, right? People tell me that, I'm too sensitive, but that I have an entire, cult of Raven that's just there telling me all the time that my favorite character sucks. I feel like, they don't really see the connection there. But I think a lot of it is Twitter is kind of a bad platform as it is already. And I'm guilty of doing stuff on Twitter that I probably shouldn't do. Like, I'm guilty of talking too much. But I think you should be more honest to people and not accuse people of slandering you just because or accuse somebody of harassing you just because they're friends with somebody. And they're friends with somebody because you had similar experiences with a group of people that are somehow untouchable, in CG at least, or that's what it feels like. Is if you say if you criticize them at the least bit, you're no longer allowed in CG. And I think that's a problem because everybody should be accepting due criticism. We shouldn't be here having this discussion of why has drama taken over comics Twitter, at least in the portion that we follow, which seems to be the more conservative side. Why is it that people are calling people Nazis and SJWs and pedophiles with no ground? They just do so because they can. And granted, granted, I've been guilty of name calling. I'm not going to lie and pretend like I'm this godly saint. No, I've been guilty of name calling when I get juvenile. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't look on your consumer. You shouldn't look at the people that kind of watch your stuff religiously and go, well, you're harassing me because you disagree with me, and then cause issues with that. That's just wrong. It's really immature and it comes off as not being able to accept criticism. And do I know, did I see what caused him to do that? No. So maybe I'm missing a portion of that. All I saw was a certain tweet that called somebody something really inappropriate that they should not have called them. And to me that was really disgusting. Because I just think that's not cool, especially when it's somebody that's been dealing with it for a while where they're constantly being slandered. Where's that other person at? Are they even here? Goddamn level 35 noob. But yeah, oh, this game is called Elseworlds, by the way. Yes, hello, Pope Raven has a big Rick. Ew, gross! You guys are perverts. But, you know, and I think what makes it worse is that, you know, it's good to defend your friends. It really is. Like, don't get me wrong. I defend my friends too. I think it's an honorable thing. How am I supposed to get over there? Oh, we gotta take this down. I think it's honorable to defend your friends. Yeah, that you're completely right, Shinobi Raccoon. But do I think that people probably should have left him alone about it? Yes, I definitely think so. See, what I did when I talked to him, I just told him I'm not really, like, I don't really agree with you, and I was really disappointed. And I kind of, when I talked to him, I told him my stance, and he told me his stance, and that was it. That was it. We didn't have to agree. That's why it was a bit shocking this morning to wake up and be told that I was harassing somebody. But you know, I no bad blood. I'm not gonna watch his stuff anymore. I'm just again, this is gonna be the only time that I really talk about it again. Um, but you know, I'm just done. I'm done with creators that act that way. And you know, I do have to thank them because it's kind of given me a like a rule book on how I felt during all this and what I don't want to do to people that watch my channel at least. And I've made mistakes. There was this person that watched my channel that made a comment that really just pissed me off, and I posted it. Um, and I will admit I was completely in the wrong there. I was just so mad because when I read it, I was like, why would you come to my channel and say this stuff? And turns out they were joking, and only parroting what people had said that I kind of made fun of on my channel. And I really messed up there, and I cannot apologize to that person enough because, you know, I really scared them away from my channel, and that was a lesson learned for me. I apologized to the person publicly. I told them I'm sorry about doing this. It was really immature of me, and I don't want to do that again. And I haven't. I have not done anything like it again. I will not, because that person was really disappointed with me, and I was really stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I was being an idiot. And so I have tried my best not to act that way. I do know that sometimes on Twitter, even I get over emotional and I'll retweet things that I probably shouldn't. And a lot of times I'll like stuff on Twitter without even like reading it. Just because, like, okay, if it's like something I'm like, okay, this is a person that I follow, I might like it just so they can have a like. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm perfect because I'm not, and I've done similar stuff. The only thing really to do is learn from it and try not to, you know, act that way again, especially when you've hurt people. And I'm not really hurt about it. I'm more disappointed. That's how I should say that this situation has gone. But it's how it is, right? I mean, people aren't perfect. I don't expect people to be perfect. What I do expect from them, though, is to act a little bit professional when their whole thing is for people to act professional. Now, do not go and bother this person. I think I will agree that I think if they don't want to talk about something, don't force them to talk about it, or at least have a private conversation. Don't force them to make public ones. I think that's a bit silly. Um, Now, I was guilty of doing that too, but at the same time, I'm not going to defend what happened, but I was more shocked. Mine was more shock from the reaction than anything else. Um, but get on get on Pope levels. Made a video. Yeah, I think that was kind of a weird thing to do too, but it happens. You know, we don't want to focus too much on drama. I kind of talked about. Well, first, I guess I'll answer some questions you guys have, what you guys wanna know from me. Yeah, no, it happens. Flint, uh, Flint, 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 Flint. Oh my God, I can I just call you Flint? Because that's just how my voice wants to say it. Like it doesn't want to call you anything else but Flint. So that's just your name now is Flint. I love Flint, by the way, guys. He does DLive, so if you do have a DLive account, please go check him out on there. I'll mod him real quick so he can post his link. He's really sweet. He's just a really sweet guy. He's such a good little Cult of Raven dude. He's one of the best ones. Flint Eastwood. Flint Eastwood. That should be your name. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or you want to ask anything that you want me to answer, or anything that you'd want me to answer, or just repeated myself, let me know. I'll try my best. Yeah, DLive. I probably should switch to DLive. The only problem is somebody already took the name Popefire, and I'm like, what the heck? That's such a unique name. Why would you take it? Oh man, I missed. But yeah, I kind of am a boomer with technology. Like me and Streamlabs, every freaking time we have a contest on which one of us can be the dominant personality, and that's why when I start my streams, I'm usually celebrating because I'm like I beat you. But yeah, I'm guilty of this too. Yeah. Crazy thing about comics Twitter is that the minute anyone gets a lick of clout, they prove true the Harvey Dent law. Yeah, I can agree with you there. Pope Raven, you were like the not kind. No, you're massive troll. Like Flint is too, but he's still a sweetheart. That's what I like about the Cult of Raven, because when people ask me why I tolerate the Cult of Raven, but not so much War Campaign, it's because Cult of Raven they don't push the line. Theirs is out of fun and enjoyment for the characters, not to antagonize people, or at the very least, not to antagonize people in a way that makes them uncomfortable. And while they've done some stuff that I kind of question, I usually really love it because it's such a wholesome thing, and it's so fun to see how they can come up with new ways to hate Starfire, and it's almost like a competition because I'll find new ways to kind of mock Raven as well. Um, so that's one of the reasons why I think Cult of Raven is a little bit more, well, a lot more tolerable than War Campaign. And no, I don't think all War Campaign people are bad. I just think there's this level of, you have to hold people accountable. And if I do something wrong, Cult of Raven usually tells me that's not cool. Please fix this, or they will mock me into oblivion until I realize my mistake. And that's one of the things I like about my viewership is people don't just nod their head and agree with me. It's very much an open dialogue here, and people have the right to say and act how they want here, with the exception of a few things. Like I don't think I do try to stay away from like name calling. I don't really think that gets very far in conversations. Now, while I will mock Devin Grayson, I don't actually hate Devin Grayson. She's just kind of like I've kind of made her into like this joke where she's the Starfire boogeyman, mainly because I think it's funny, and I would not actually encourage anybody to ever bother her. Um, and actually, she's done some stories that I like. So Yeah, but I just think, we can have a little bit more professionalism here, and especially if we are a bigger channel. Like with this channel, I'm only about 500 people, which is pretty big for a small channel. Um, I think Starfire's not cool. Pope Raven tries every day. Holy heck! Yeah, I should block Joshua. I should block Joshua just for the lulz, just to see if he'll like notice it. But yeah, I think that we can do better here. And I think that I think a lot of the problem is with Marvel. A lot of people dropping Marvel and DC. I mean, I'm a super DC fan, and I've dropped DC over Zoe Quinn. I think there's really not a lot to talk about, so they're kind of having to pull straws a bit as well. And I don't think these people are perfect. I just think that there's a way to handle things, and disagreeing with somebody and slandering somebody is completely different from each other. Um, but yeah. Oh, Lorenzo, that's so sweet. That's really sweet. Joshua went crazy after you took note Pope away. Yeah, I believe that. Actually, Night Pope is so busy with college, she went back to WASP. But I totally get it. I remember how college was for me. It can get pretty crazy, so I don't blame her or judge her for it. I mean, it happens. Um, hey, Trusty's here. Hello, you beautiful, beautiful artist. You are a beautiful man, Trusty, and everybody should go follow you. Actually, okay, so Trusty was doing this Donna Troy, Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, Starfire, and Raven picture, and he was showing me like the updates of it, and I was like, you should show them smiling, with the exception of Raven, because Donna and Starfire would totally smile, right? Raven not so much, and so he told me I was his editor. And now I want everybody to know that I am the trusty sidekick editor, and I have all intents of editing out Raven from that picture. So I hope you Raven fans are prepared. Actually, I want to buy that piece. Shinobi Raccoon. Yes. Okay. So I know I don't have a lot of moderators in here, but if you haven't read the description already, please do not share out the Patreon link today. I don't think it's really fair to put that out on a stream about drama, and I just think it's kind of, you know, distasteful. So please don't post that out. Editor Pope Fire Rip Trusty. No. Okay. So I started writing issue 2, or what I do is I pinpoint and then I talk with Raggedy, and Raggedy does a lot of the writing, because if Pope Fire wrote, there'd be a lot of confusion with the spelling errors and stuff. But I'm pretty sure Trusty's gotten used to it. But we sent we're doing the logo right now, and I actually would like to show it to Flint when the stream is over, to see kind of his thoughts on it, because I feel like he's a good artist that would be nice to get an opinion on. Oh my god, I hate that. Okay, come here. There we go. But yeah, we're working. I'm doing the pinpoints for issue 2, and then gonna send it to Raggedy. We've already kind of discussed some of the stuff that's gonna happen. The good thing is it's a lot easier since we've already made like a pinpoint of where the story is going and where we plan to go with it. And I'm super excited because we finished the majority. Like we've sent it off to the editor, which is Speedy, thank God, because Raggedy and Hopefire not always best spellers. There's actually a really funny typo in it that I can't remember what it was, but I remember watching it and laughing like crazy. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. That's totally something we'd do. But what kind of drama is going on now? The lumping fans in with others just because they're friends, and then calling people slanderous stuff kind of drama. But we're moving past that. We are going to talk about happier stuff. Yeah, I've always said that the best Starfire is a smiling Starfire. I always feel like when you have Starfire smiling, you just have her much more in character. Uh, So I'm always like, yeah, totally make Starfire smile. That's why every time I hire for commissions, I'm like, please just make her smile. Like I don't care unless I'm like very particular about the pose. I usually don't care about like poses and stuff. I usually just say, okay, give her a Nightwing hat and a jacket, and then make her smile. And then I usually give Rebirth Starfire because that's my favorite design of Starfire. Um, Even though my favorite Starfire is George Perez's because it's George Perez's Starfire and she's perfect. But artistically, I like the Rockstar look. Alright, where's... Oh, god dang it. Are you taking a nap over here? No, you guys are just... Oh, yeah, you guys are just bug things. Okay. Better take that. Oh, so I've been playing a lot of Pokemon because I just got a DS recently, and I must say, I am terrible at Pokemon. I am very, very bad at Pokemon. Um... I finally got a Pikachu because that's the only Pokemon I like. I know of Pikachu and Charizard, and okay, the worst thing happened. I had a Litten, and he evolved, and now he's ugly and not cute, and I don't want him anymore. And it makes me really sad because you can't devolve your Pokemon, and I feel like that's really dumb because I liked the way my Litten looked. He was adorable. And I don't really like him being big and ugly. I liked him when he looked more like a cat. Yeah, okay, so Depressed Starfire actually happened for like a good 4 years at DC Comics. It was really bad because this is a character that's known for her happiness, right? And one of the reasons why I even started like reading the character and enjoying her the way that I did was because she was such a happy character. Um, I don't even know what that means. What the heck is Incineroar? But yeah, uh, one of the reasons why I liked Starfire so much was even though bad stuff happened, she generally was a happy character, and yes, she did get angry and stuff, but it wasn't like she wanted to be angry. She wanted to be happy. She wanted to find joys in the littlest of things, and I really admired that, especially growing up with the way that I did, where it was kind of very religious based, and there wasn't a lot like fun we actually could do. Um, so I enjoyed Starfire for the simple reasons that she was a happy character, and I inspired to be like that. I inspired to be happy even when it was, kind of a depressing time. And it's not always been easy, but I do think that, kind of having Starfire as the character that I looked up to as a child really helped. And it's one of the reasons why I think comics should be more for kids, even though Teen Titans really wasn't for kids either. I just feel Happy Blorthog. Yeah, Blorthog. That was from the episode How Long Is Forever. But no, I just think comics should be more like they should be more for children because children can learn a lot more lessons from them than adults can. And ultimately, when comics became more for adults, that's when a lot of the heroes suffered. Um, because they no longer had like core traits of symbolistic traits, I should say, where they were easy to enjoy. They now suddenly were made for adults, and oh man, I forgot this one's really hard to do by myself. Okay, yep, this is gonna be hard. It's pretty much set the standard of what person. Yeah, we've actually talked about that a lot, actually, with how the animated series kind of hurt Starfire as a character. Oh man. Oh well, that's what I gotta do. I gotta. Well, damn it! How am I supposed to jump up there if you won't let me? Okay. Need health. But yeah, the animated series kind of ruined her character because now people will either write her out of spite for the animated series, or they'll write her like animated Starfire, but without the other Titans to back off of. And again, all the Titans in the animated series had personalities to kind of rub off of each other. That's why Raven and Starfire are parallels to each other. It's why they all kind of have a place there, and it was why changing her for cartoon Starfire was really inappropriate, because if you're not going to have the other Titans there, you don't really need cartoon Starfire. And I really do think New 52 and New 52 in particular is kind of the solution of DC going, well, we want people to not think of Starfire as the cartoon. We want her to be a much more serious character. Which, by the way, Starfire should never be a super serious character. That should have been like DC's first. Like, no, you should never have Starfire being super serious and moody. Like, it's just, it doesn't work. God dang it! Let me run, damn it! I mean, I have abilities to let me run. I'm just not using them because I'm dumb. And there's the mana regrowth is really slow. I should get Nacho in here just to make sure that I have backup. But yeah, I didn't like how Robin was depicted there either. He was too Batman. He actually, okay, so I will say this: they actually act like if they were the new Teen Titans, but a little bit younger. That's why I liked the Teen Titans cartoon series, because they felt like what if the Teen Titans from the comics were younger. Because Dick Grayson actually comes off very much like Marv Wolfman's Dick Grayson, and I'll argue that Marv Wolfman's Dick Grayson is the best Dick Grayson because he's Marv Wolfman, and Marv Wolfman is god of all comic books. But but oh, did I did it? Oh, but you know, I can agree that maybe he was a bit too Batman. Thoughts on the upcoming 5G? 5G what? What's 5G? Never. Oh, the new generation stuff. Yeah, that was a bad idea. That was a really bad idea. Um. Yeah. I mean, I know why they're doing it because you know they think that you know, it worked for Marvel so well that it killed comic books, and it has to work for DC. But they're not doing well, and the reason why they're not doing well is because comics are no longer for kids. Even the characters, excuse me, even the characters they claim to be for kids still have an agenda tied to them. And while you can teach a lesson and have political messages in there, you really need to be clever about it. You don't need to force it in there and make it so on the nose to the point where your reader's sitting there and they're like, I don't like this. This character comes off really, really bad. And again, it's because all your villains shouldn't be conservatives. If you really want to show a political message, show that it's okay to think differently. Show that it's okay to, you know, have different opinions and still get along. That was one of the things that I liked about Hawk and Dove, was that they were brothers, but they had completely different political views, and I thought that was fine. No, Lorenzo, no. Yeah, I mean, Dead Punk Gage. Essentially, I could see him wanting, like, that's the time when he's you know wanting to be Batman. Okay, I need to get Nacho in here so I have a partner for these. Hello, Nacho.
Hey, what up?
So Shinobi said, I think it was because Tim's Robin was trying to avoid being like Batman that Teen Titans Robin was such a turnoff. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, if you were reading comics at the time, the modern comics at the time when Teen Titans Robin was on, the only problem is Teen Titans Robin is actually Dick Grayson, and there's a lot of evidence to back this up. And even yes, Hawk and Dove are brothers, but the in the comic books they straight up confirm he's Dick Grayson by showing the Flying Graysons poster. Kick Nacho. Hey Nacho, I'm gonna have to kick you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
are you gonna play Elseworlds? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
switch to my character Popefire, who's a level 66, and a much better character because she is overpowered.
It's a, well, it's two
Yes, and
characters,
they're
isn't it?
overpowered, and I love them, and they're amazing.
Okay.
Oh boy, my Twitter is spammed with notifications. I'm a bit worried. The cult of Raven is innocent. We are always right about you, and I have no ego, Hellraven. Okay? Papyrus evil for all the crimes and discrimination she committed to followers of Raven. Nobody slandered. Blah blah blah. Huge. True, but she's still a good person. I can respect evil. Good. respect the evil Potefire. Yeah. No, okay, so um Starfire's still evil in honesty, by the way. So I guess it makes sense that I would still be evil Potefire. Um
Explain how
okay, so
Starfire is
Dark
evil.
Side, and we don't know if she's dead yet. I'm going to assume because Jessica Cruz came back from a pile of ashes that Starfire's still alive. But I'm only picking up one more issue of that, and it's going to be the Starfire cover, and then I'm done. Like I'm not picking up any more DC. So if they don't fix the Starfire thing by then, I'm probably will be out of the loop. I'm refusing to buy anything with Zoe Quinn at that company. I'm not even buying figures. I'm not buying, like, I'll go to my comic shop and buy secondhand books I already own because I don't want to give DC the money. I want them to know that their decision to hire Zoe Quinn was a bad one, and I'm not the only one, because a lot of people are dropping DC over this, and this is coming right off the bat of Heroes in Crisis, and not really, and once again going back to the New 52 policy of we don't care about fans, and that's kind of something that bothers me, is that we're stepping in that same way with CG, but it's whatever, right? Okay, so we had to do a dungeon quest.
Hold on, cause I'm not in the same city as
I'm
you.
in Alter, blah blah blah. I woke up with really big sinuses today, so my voice is kind of bleh. I'm
It's like
actually
blah
really
blah.
happy Flint is here today. I get super excited every time I see him in my chat. He's such a good guy. I wish Sammy would come more, but I also think he's busy, and I don't think my content appeals to him as much. I'd like to kind of talk to some of the Cult of Raven people and see what I can do to get them in my chats more, because I love their trolling.
Oh, you hear that? Just come in on Discord and
Well,
I
they're
just pull you in.
shy. They're shy boys. And that's fine. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, okay? I only got into streaming because of Chester Busby. He was like, "Come on, we need a Potefire here," and I was like, "I don't know, I don't want to do it." He's like, "Come on, Potefire," and I was like, "Okay." So then Daddy Chester took me into his stream and taught me how to do it. And it's been a lot of fun. Did my game crash? I think my game crash. Nope. Okay, but it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun doing it. I'm really glad that because I've been disappointed with a lot of the creators that I used to follow. That now I'm glad that I can create my own content. It's kind of like with comic books. I'm glad that I'm creating Relentless, because honestly, it sucks that I can't read DC anymore. Like, DC was such a huge part of my life. I've been buying DC since I was 8. Like, I literally would ride my bike to the comic shop with money that I got from bussing tables and washing dishes, and I would buy Teen Titans books. Um, so it's very frustrating to me, especially to see. It's very frustrating to kind of see that happened in YouTube as well, to where I can't watch my favorite channels because they started calling people things that weren't true, and then started making up.
Like
Yeah,
maps.
but
Like
we'll move on from that. We'll move
I
on
did
from
not
that.
know.
Yeah, it cost me a few followers too, but I'd rather be right than popular. I'd rather have
Hold on, I have a
I'd
deep buff
rather
on.
be I'd rather have a good moral ground than be popular. And honestly, I like the way that my channel is now. I told people for a long time I want to get to 500. I don't really want to get I don't want to get too big. I like being a small channel. Like, yeah, would the monetary growth be better at 1,000? Probably, but I like where I'm at. I like that I have a bit of more personal level with the people that watch my show. I have it to where people can message me on Twitter and talk to me. A lot of them are on my Facebook as well, and they talk to me. They message me. They can come on my streams. They're just like, "Hey, can I come on a stream?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, if I find a topic that you feel like you want to be on, just ask and I'll put you on." Um, so I like being a bit of a smaller channel, just for the purpose of I can still get my voice out there, but I don't I have a much more personal connection with my viewers. Why are my attacks not there? They go. I love how this character is just. I love the color scheme of this character.
I don't like my character color because it's not green.
Yeah,
It's like
what's your
white and
favorite
blue.
shade of green? See, I like
Forest green.
lime green, and Thundara would make fun of me for it. He's like, "Why do you gotta pick the ugliest green?" And I'm like, "But it's so pretty."
I like lime green too, but I
Well,
like darker
lime green
colors.
sticks out. I like
Like,
bright colors. I really like bright colors. All right, guys. I think we'll probably end it. Oh no, I do want to talk about the latest episode of Titans. It's garbage, and it's literally a lot of people. Okay, so what happened is the Titans DVD sales are not proving to be good. So people have been calling fans racist again. You know, trying to trigger them. Or trigger them, use those words to upset people and make false claims. And what it's essentially done is shown that people really don't like Titans, and even on Titans forums from the ads from Facebook, people are criticizing this show, and this used to be a show that you couldn't criticize. So people are getting like the people that have been defending the show have been getting really angry about that, and it's been going back into like baseless claims of this, and this just because you don't like a show. But the latest episode, holy moly, it is bad. Um,
like
okay,
how
so
bad?
this season, like the first part of the season was great. It really was, because it seemed like they were really going to try and respect the characters. But then they decided, nah, that we ain't doing that because we're Titans and we believe in trying to disrespect the fans as much as possible. And now Dick Grayson is in prison, and that's how he gets the name. Yeah, it's really dumb. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it here.
Wait, that's how you get
That's
the
from
name
my
Nightwing?
understanding. And then it also seems like Raven is now interested in women, which I kind of can understand considering the fact that they hired a actor that's like 9 years older.
Too
Yeah,
old for
she was
her?
started the series at 13. He was like 20 something. So yeah, it makes sense that they would put her in a relationship with a younger person, considering the fact that they hired Raven to be
That's
literally the youngest character, literally underage. While all the other Titans are, you know, which again, this has always been something that bothers me. I like when the new Teen Titans are around the same age group. You shouldn't have a Mama Starfire. You should have a big sister Starfire. Um,
but like I think they were trying to go with the Stranger Things route on the casting, but it's not
well,
working.
okay, it's because they have no chemistry together. The best character, the best actress is Ana Diop. And it sucks because these characters are so beloved, and some of them actually do look like their characters. Like Donna Troy is spot on, but they just they don't respect the characters, and they've shown that they don't really respect the actors either, because let's be honest, you would not dress your actors that way if you had a respect for them.
Yeah, basically, Starfire is a hooker
Yeah.
from The
All
Wire.
right, guys, we're gonna end it here because my voice is giving out. You guys have a fantastic day, and thank you guys for listening to kind of a stream that I didn't even want to do, but I felt it was kind of needed, and I'm sorry that we had to talk about this. I really hate talking about it, and we will not be doing it again. Hopefully tonight we'll be talking about